significantly lower wind speeds, but still real risks with this storm as it goes up the coast. So let's go back to meteorologist Mike Seidel now along the Florida coast with a look at the conditions there. Mike, over to you.
Hey, good evening from Melbourne Beach, and we are bracing for the worst of Dorian, but fortunately it's a weaker storm. It is going to stay offshore. Look at the radar right now. You can see the center, and we're about 100 miles west of the center, but it's moving northwest at 6 miles an hour. So tonight it will actually move closer to our location, the Space Coast, and up where Reynolds is in Daytona Beach. And look at where those bands are on the western side. That's where we've got wind gusts over hurricane force. We've had gusts out here to 60. It shook the building that offers us great protection tonight. So what we're going to watch for this evening is as the bands rotate in, we get very heavy rainfall. We're expecting storm totals, an additional 3 to 6 inches of rain. We've had about an inch so far since yesterday. And again, sustained winds 40 to 50 miles an hour. So we're going to have quite a show out here if some of those bands get in here this evening. So far, power outages minimal, just 8,000 statewide. That is going to really go up. Let's go up to the beach because one of those bands has been raking Reynolds Wolf. Reynolds, tell us what you got for us up there in Volusia County.
Well, it's the anticipation of what's to come. Right?
And where you are in central Florida on the east coast there, the center is about 100 miles offshore, but the northwestern and western portions of the circulation bringing some squally weather, some power outages, some lightning, and some flash flooding concerns inland there.
Yes, indeed. We still have the flood advisory for parts of central Florida, including the DeLand area, Daytona, Volusia County, over to Orange County, parts of Orlando. That's from that band that came in earlier. Reynolds Wolf was out in that earlier, and some heavy rainfall, even some lightning. But down here, we've had some intermittent rain. So far, about 1.25 inches, and the highest wind gust inland at the airport on the other side of the intracoastal has been 45 miles an hour. That's not going to knock out a lot of power. In fact, power outages last check, just over 7,000 in the Sunshine State as the tides continue to come in. High tide around midnight tonight. This will be our last high tide of real concern as far as overwash and flooding, because by the next high tide after lunchtime tomorrow here, the wind's going to be blowing offshore because Dorian will be north from the Cape North, and that's where we have storm surge values a little higher, 2 to 4 here, and up to the north, 3 to 5 Daytona, up towards St. Augustine and Jacksonville. And we'll be watching Jacksonville very quickly. Remember in Matthew, miles and miles away, and even Irma, and the wind pushed, I should say with Irma, it pushed the water right up the St. Johns River, and there was some incredible flooding. So we hope for the best there, and we'll go back to live coverage there first thing in the morning. Meanwhile, let's go up the coast. Reynolds Wolf has been reporting live from Daytona Beach this evening.
Back to meteorologist Mike Seidel along the Florida coast with a look at the conditions there. And Mike, this storm is scraping the coastline of Florida. The rain starting to pick up at this point.
It is right here at Melbourne Beach, but keep in mind it's moving parallel to the coast, north-northwest. The coast here leans a little bit to the west. So as a result, what you see on the radar right now, those very bright colors out near the center, those will likely not make it on shore, and that's a good thing. That's where we have those strongest winds. Those are the winds, sustained winds over potentially 100 miles an hour. We're getting gusts from a buoy east of Cape Canaveral up over 90 miles an hour. So that gives you the idea of how strong the winds are out there. But those bands should stay just offshore. We do have some outer bands, though, coming in, and they should produce wind gusts upwards of 70, maybe the hurricane force gust to 74, and that leads to power outages, or at least sporadic power outages. Now about 8,400 on the coast from Flagler, Volusia, Brevard County here, and down to Martin County, but those numbers should tick up somewhat. Now remember, the earlier estimates back on Friday, Thursday and Friday, when the track was going to come right into the state, was, 1.7 million customers. Things have changed a whole lot. Thank goodness, because the track has changed. It's staying off the coast. The storm has weakened, so much less power to be impacted. But I can tell you, everywhere you drive today here in Brevard County, you're seeing power crews from all over, literally all over the country. I met a couple of guys who've been here since last week that are in from Michigan waiting to see what happens, and we'll see what we wake up to at first light here tomorrow. Meanwhile, up the coast, let's check in with Reynolds Wolf.